Welcome back to another episode of 3 Minutes of About Wine. Today, let's go back in time and talk about the beginnings of wine. Have you ever wondered who the first person was to taste wine? I like to imagine a tired hunter-gatherer coming back home after a long day and finding some forgotten grapes that had started to ferment. He takes a sip and discovers something magical, a magic that will change the hunter-gatherer society and culture forever. Maybe he got a little dizzy, maybe a little happier, and ran to tell others about his discovery. They make him ferment more grape juice, and just like that, the first winemaker was born. Now, the real story was probably as poetic, but just as fascinating. Most likely, wine was discovered by accident. While grapes were crushed, the natural yeast on the skins began fermentation, and the sugar slowly turned into alcohol. Unfortunately, we don't have any direct archaeological proof from prehistoric times, as few traces remain due to the lack of durable containers at the time. The first reliable evidence of intentional winemaking appears much later during the Neolithic period, roughly between 6000 and 4000 BC. This happened in regions like Georgia, Armenia, eastern Turkey, Iran, and parts of the Near East and Egypt. These areas were ideal for wild grapevines, allowing for the earliest wine experiments to occur. Let's look at few remarkable discoveries. In Georgia, at the sites called Gora and Gatakrili Gora, archaeologists found pottery fragments with traces of wine dating back around 6000 BC. One of the key clues was tartaric acid, a strong indicator of grape wine. In Iran, at Haji Firas Tipi, researchers found chemical evidence of wine from around 5400 to 5000 BC. Even more interesting, they also found evidence of tree resin, which suggests that people are already trying to preserve the wine. That means the process was no longer accidental. People were beginning to understand the process and experiment with it. One of the most exciting discoveries of all is the Areni 1 cave in Armenia, dating to around 4100 BC. This site is considered the oldest known winemaking facility ever. Archaeologists found a grape press, fermentation vessels, and storage containers. Scientific testing even confirmed the production of red wine. Yes, over 6,000 years ago, people were already making red wine. And here comes a wonderful little detail. At Rainy One, they also found reed stems that may have been used as straws for drinking wine. It appears even ancient people may have enjoyed wine with a bit of style. But the Rainy One was more than just a winery. The cave seems to have been used for many things: living, storing food, keeping animals, ritual practices, and craft production. That tells us something very important. Even in ancient times, wine was already more than just a drink. It was part of daily life, part of community, part of culture, and maybe even part of ritual and identity. So, the next time you raise a glass of wine, just remember you are taking part in a story that began thousands of years ago. A like, a share, and a follow will help me to continue the series of 3 minutes about wine. I'm Julian, and I'm thinking.